Ikundi Yimwe ya Nthi Syonthe Niyeethiwa na Makulyo Yiulu wa Uima wa Mwii wa Atwai Maloli ala Makuaa Miio Kuma Mombasa Kuthi Kungi Ikundi Yimwe isitwa Northern Corridor Transit and Transport Coordination Authority yasekana kilungu cha 60 Yiulu yana cha Mateleva Maloli mena mawuki wathukanio Kuma na ithimo ile nekiwe county ya Busia kisioni cha Malaba. Angelina Moseno kutueleza.
Na muvia uwa Northern Corridor Transit and Transport Coordination kilungu cha 60 Yiulu yana cha Mateleva Maloli nimeethiwa na mawuki wathukanio kuno kili ula wa Atwai Malaba county ya Busia Mwii wakana.
This year in April we conducted a road safety campaign in Kenya that ran from here Mombasa to Malaba. And in Malaba we tested drivers' health condition, the eyesight, the sugar level, the blood pressure. And what we came up with was about over 60% of the drivers had one or the other condition. And also talking to them, they did not have regular health facilities or access to health services. So to us, that was a sticking point. We thought that was a red flag, and we started thinking deeper and how do we enlist all our communities to participate in the transport sector.
Imosia ithimi na ila cia Atwai kavindane kauni vamwe na cia metho kuambatwa nenza kama sukali katiwa mawu angi na alama kuwetekana kanani makumacha valam muvia u kuwetekana vena vata wake kuthinikiwa kwa metuki.
This was seen from the perspective of road safety, because if driver is not safe, because road safety is about the pillars: management, safe driver, safe vehicle, and safe and informed pedestrian. So we realized drivers were not as safe as we thought. It was not about driving skills, but about them and their own health. That took us further to think about the whole community along the corridor. And therefore, what we are going to do is, in this engagement, we are going to come up with 3 things. One is to have some sort of a structured or institutional semblance on how to handle this. Because health issues, now what happens in Kenya reacts alone without the proper institutional setup that coordinate with the authority, other than traditional institutions that have traditional roles. 1. 2, we are going to look at transcendence policies. What policies do we have that bring countries together to treat this as a common affair? Because drivers travel across the boundaries of the countries, and therefore they don't belong to one particular country.
Uwa kakavindane kala makomani ya maofisini manene mamuvia uva kauntini ya Mombasa kavindane kala meethiwa makwiyumbanisi ya komano ya maunduma ukuina ila ikatwe matuku elinginya matuku ana mamwa iwa 12 kauntini ilo vala ingi matwa isia uthimi kuyamwa Mateleva na ala Makuaa Miio kuma poti ya Mombasa vala mawetakana ni maende na kuikia maolenyome mwanya kutethia Mateleva a na ala makwati ya na monthi inu othukumi wonthi ila meethiwa maitwa mali.
So once we have these structures in place, we have the institutions, we have the policies, and then now the operational intervention in place, then now it is easy to have data because there will be a formula on how to interact with the communities and access information. And then this data can be used now to monitor the performance of the corridor in terms of health.
With regards to roadside stations, this is a huge program run by the Secretariat. We have several of these stations coming up right from outside the port of Mombasa here in Kenya, where we have a facility at Bonje, and along the corridor. Private sector has been very active in developing these facilities, and our intention is to support them. Member states are developing guidelines and regulations on how these roadside stations should be developed and operated. And the private sector is taking up this very seriously. They are buying land, developing these facilities and operating them as a business, but also supporting the objectives of the corridor.
Ngilivote ya vilingu wa mauvo kuma kauntini ya Mombasa nita wa Angelina Moseno.